Current hex expense generally is 0.032, hex fell 0.29 in 7 days, hex expense assessment is negative today. First support level for hex inside and out that truly matters is at 0.03008 July 2023. In this video, we'll walk you through hex expense assessment for the time being or for positively multi-week from now and genuinely endeavor to answer regularly asked inquiries. Hex is a sort of savvy income in a subtle way. Hex support and resistance levels, etc., or so they kind of thought at this point before diving in each down-to-earth sense significant into the hex-specific assessment essentially let us by and large investigate the everything considered current economic conditions in a generally gigantic manner. Market look at country. Bitcoin has 49.89% of the entry market, while Ethereum has 16.33%. This shows that Bitcoin has 49.89% of the entry market, while Ethereum has 16.33%. This is a simple way of saying that Bitcoin has 49.89% of the entry market, while Ethereum has 16.33%. This has led to Bitcoin's price dropping to $30,231.42 after a loss of 0.54, which is a big drop compared to other cryptocurrencies, while Coco's BCX fell by 0.77 in value and went down to 60 cents, which is not what most people think. Most of the time, these events show that the market is going down, or so they thought. As of now, a large, mostly bad drop can be seen all over the crypto market in a quiet way. Hex support and resistance are important technical indicators used to find key price levels where the trend can change. After losing 0.77 of its value, Coco's BCX fell to 60 cents. In a similar way, an obstacle is a level at which the price of a coin can't go much higher. Here are the help and obstacle levels for Hex. The daily graph of Hex shows that the Hex price is generally going down, with a 1.19% drop in the past 24 hours. The market capitalization of the Hex coin is $5,584,394,461 and the price changes by 0.29% over the course of a week, while the trading volume is mainly fluctuating around $1 billion. Hex cost study for 16 to 22 July 2023. A look at the costs and a typical day. All things considered, we use relative strength index RSI to move standard combinations and differences in a very important way. Macked backup levels. The help and opposition levels of Hex performance are as follows. Help and opposition levels of Hex execution are as follows. Help and opposition levels of Hex performance are as follows. Help and opposition levels of Hex performance are as follows. Help and opposition levels of Hex performance are as follows. Help and opposition levels of the really everyday outline of Hex shows that the Hex price is going down with a 1.19 decline. And that after 24 hours, the MACD line is still below the signal line, showing that XRP is up by 0.66 and is currently trading at 47 cents, which is very important. Hex investors usually have to wait for a change in direction on the daily graph. During the past 24 hours, Ethereum's price fell by 0.65, bringing it to 1860.73. This goes against what most people think, as X has a practically the closest opposition of 0.036, which shows that Hex has the closest opposition. Irresistibly, a bullish breakout from this resistance level would usually help the rising momentum show that tax investors need to wait for a change in direction on the daily graph. So different digital currencies like Ethereum have seen their prices drop by 0.65 to 1860.73 in the last 24 hours. This is a big drop, so buyers could focus on the R2 resistance level, which is set at 0.039 and is very high. However, if investors betray the hexadecimal system, the R2 resistance level could be broken. Bears could control the market and push the price of Hex down below the important support line of 0.030, which shows that 16 to 22 July 2023. In this video, we'll show you how to do a Hex cost test for now or for next week. And we'll try to answer these questions in general. Most of the time, we did get answers to some important questions. Facts: what Hexawise is really about is short-term cost expectations for Hex project, which is very important, while Hex's Williams percent are kind of a signal, is at 23.818 for the 14-day time period, showing a neutral situation. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, approved BlackRock's latest application for a spot Bitcoin ETF. On its website, the governing body recognized that BlackRock had filed an ETF in a section for ETFs filed in the third quarter of the year. Along with BlackRock, a few other top asset managers also sent in papers that were accepted by the SEC. On the site, there were also job applications from Fidelity, WisdomTree Funds, VanEck, Galaxy Digital, and Invesco US. It's important to note that top investment companies like ARK Invest, 21 shares, and Bitwise Invest have already passed this stage with their Bitcoin ETF applications. Key players in the cryptocurrency market have said what they think about the new change. People in the market have all had good things to say about the change on the SEC's website. James Seifert, a research expert for Bloomberg who writes about crypto and Bitcoin, seems to think that the market is already doing well. "We're off to the races," he said, adding that the application from Valkyrie Funds is next. It's important to note that this is only one of many steps that must be taken for the SEC to accept ETF applications. But the steps don't make a difference in the clearance process, as Seifert told it. "Given how things have been going lately, I have to think that Valkyrie Funds application will be approved on Monday. Also, as I said yesterday, this is just a step in the process and does not mean that these will be accepted. Just that the process has started officially." Meanwhile, the news that Europe is getting ready to start its first spot Bitcoin ETF has made people more excited about the approval of a Bitcoin spot ETF. Jacoby Asset Management, the company in charge of selling the Bitcoin ETF, says that the ETF will go live in July. The asset manager's application was first approved in 2021, but the ETF didn't get off the ground because the market was bad at the time. After a year, the asset manager is ready to meet the needs of the market, which it says has changed since last summer. On the other hand, the uses for spot Bitcoin ETFs are still being looked at. Even though market participants don't know how long it will take to hear back from the SEC, a well-known person in the market is sure that the approval of a Bitcoin spot ETF could be very good for the price of Bitcoin.